Damn, y'all feel that?
Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. A message to all you pseudo spitters. The sound is cool, but the trend I see is the truth is missing. I feel the flow is stupid. You claim that the music's different. I guess it's all opinion, depending on who was listening.
What's the word, y'all? It's KTR underscore podcast, hashtag KTR. We are KTR. We are back in the build for episode 59 of No Roast Podcast. Yes, that's hashtag KTR. We are KTR, and we are back in the building. And I am with my brothers, Big Harv and J-Bo himself, live and direct for this episode, coming at y'all live. But my brothers, before we dive into this episode, I want to ask y'all, how are y'all doing today?
I'm doing beautiful, my big brother. How about y'all?
Yeah, man. I had fun today. I went to Dave and Buster's, acted like a big kid with my kids. You know what I mean? So, good day. Good day.
Good day.
Yes, sir.
Today was a good day. It's about to be a great day when we dive into this episode. But before we dive into this episode, y'all gotta do this one simple favor for us, and that is to. And yes, I am drinking water out of a wine glass. Don't judge me. But follow us on all social media platforms: KTR underscore podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. No Roast Podcast, Facebook, and YouTube. No Roast Podcast, all podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, everything. And don't forget to get your merch at prowrestlingtees.com/KTR podcast. Let's get it and let's go and dive into the show.
You sure that's just water, my friend? Stumbling a little bit.
It is. It's all right. The night is still young and it's bright, and we're gonna see some lights tonight. But we got some interesting topics coming up today on this episode. I don't know which one to dive into right now. We have so many big things that have happened within the past 2 weeks. You know, let's get into probably Harv's favorite topic right now. You know,
the patriarch has returned. Yes. Yes, my father.
Yeah. Yes. Wait, you're what?
My father. That's right. My father.
The
patriarch. That's right.
In case y'all haven't noticed or pay attention to wrestling, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this by now.
Oh, yes.
Bray Wyatt has officially returned to WWE.
Oh, yes.
He made his grand entrance at the end of Extreme Rules show after Riddle's and Seth Rollins match. And it was probably one of the biggest pops in recent pops since Cody Rhodes' return. It was bigger than that. I think Bray Wyatt's return was the most anticipated, the most wanted return of all the returns of people that were released, during that 2020 COVID era when everybody was getting released during those times. But Bray Wyatt has officially returned. He's back on the brand. Looks like he is going to be on the SmackDown brand. But my brothers, look, we're gonna start with Big Harv. How do you feel about the patriarch, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, all that good stuff about his return?
I'm ecstatic, man. I'm one of the cats that was waiting on it. We knew it was inevitable. I knew he wasn't gonna go anywhere else. He wasn't gonna go to AEW. He's too big of a personality, I feel like. And he knows that. He knows where he belongs. He knows the stage that he belongs with. He's more theatrical. So he needs a more big budget company in order to really fulfill the things that he wants to do with his character. I'm tentative about it because we've seen he come in, he get hot with whatever he does, and then he still flounders. So we'll see. The people love him. We know that. They brought him back and they gave him a really big stage to come back on. We just got to see how they execute it. I'm excited for it, but we'll see.
J-Bo.
I agree, Big Harv. The anticipation is huge. We talked about it on the last episode when we were talking about who the White Rabbit could have been, and of course, it came out to be none other than Bray Wyatt himself.
I wouldn't be Joe Gacy.
No, at all. Big Harv put up a good point. He mentioned that every time when Bray Wyatt really hits a certain point, it just flounders. But the good thing about his character is that you can tell that Bray Wyatt is very invested into his character. The fans love his character, and his characters are memorable. The problem that they had was with creative letting them have their full way with Bray Wyatt being the ultimate star that he is. But now, since we're under the new Triple H Stephanie McMahon regime, I feel that we're going to have more of an opportunity for Bray Wyatt to truly shine, especially from last Friday on SmackDown, where what I felt was a very good, heartfelt promo. I believe everyone felt that, but he ended it off in a typical Bray Wyatt fashion by continuing his character of the White Rabbit. I'm very interested where it goes. I have an idea of where I think they should go because
speak on it.
Storyline. Look, we're gonna talk about Roman Reigns later, so I'll wait till we get to that point, man.
I was gonna talk about Roman Reigns. Why you different dabbing the other topics that we may or may not talk about?
All into that daggone shoot. Okay, I'll go ahead and talk about it. All right, let's look back here. Let's look back to when Roman Reigns won the Universal Championship that led into his Tribal Chief character. He won a triple threat match against Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns held the belt for the last 2 years until then. Bray Wyatt, he lost the belt. He had a little feud with Randy Orton, lost his job, and came back all within the time Roman Reigns was champion. So far, nobody has been able to dethrone the champion. Bray Wyatt is back. He is super hot. He got a great character. He's clearly main event status if they book him correctly. I can see, and this is just my theory of what I would like, I can see Bray Wyatt going back for revenge, going back for the championship that he lost, and it could lead up. It could be WrestleMania, since that's in 5-6 months from here. Like, I can see a good build up because this will give enough time for Bray Wyatt to have 1 or 2 feuds, continue to build on his character, the faction that they're rumoring that he'll build. He can do all of that and then go back for his gold at the end. But that's just one point that I can see happen with Bray Wyatt. The sky's the limit, but that's one thing I can see toward the future. So I'm happy. The point is, I'm happy to see where Bray Wyatt goes.
You know what? I'm not gonna hate because I wasn't a Bray Wyatt fan.
Because you ain't.
They know it. I wasn't a big Bray Wyatt fan. I didn't like the Fiend character per se. The Bray Wyatt before it was cool. I just hated this undefeated, unstoppable Fiend character for so long until, of course, Randy Orton beat him and burned him and got fired. But yeah, different story. But yeah. But I just wasn't a big fan. But like I could say I'm glad that he's back, because we need somebody of his status, as big as a top tier status as the head honcho, the head of the table currently right now, because of that next step that can happen, which could lead to this other topic, which we're gonna say later. But since we're speaking now, we can speak about it now too as well. And that was, who would probably be the next person to dethrone Roman Reigns. He's been champion for 2+ years right now. He has converted into the part-time champion and everything. And like the people that he's faced on different pay-per-views for the title, were at the point, we're supposed to be like the top tier main eventers of the business. And some of them were just kind of worked up into it as well, with like decent sort of storylines, like one with Cesaro, one with Rey Mysterio, Jey Uso, that was a great one, things like that. But it makes you think and wonder, like, who would be that next person? Personally for me, I thought it would be Cody Rhodes, obviously, because of his return and all that good stuff with WrestleMania. And it would just lead up to a storyline to then. But, he had that pec injury, and so let's put him on the shelf for who knows how long. He'll probably return at Royal Rumble. If he does, that will be electric and fantastic.
That's probably his biggest mania right there.
So that's why I would think that would be it. But since Bray Wyatt has came into the fold, I'm not sure right now, because it's hard to decipher who is the bigger star, Cody Rhodes or Bray Wyatt. And in my personal opinion, and especially how the way the wrestling fans work, it is what it is, the quote unquote fickleness, whatever, people may feel, Bray Wyatt might be bigger than Cody Rhodes. No, I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Anything's happened with that.
They could always go the triple threat route too, though. They gonna keep the titles together. It's been a while since they've done one of those.
And that will be another way for Roman Reigns to lose the title without
having to be pinned.
Without having to be pinned, because they want to keep that strong face and just, I guess, keep him tough until he comes back. Because after WrestleMania, he's probably gonna take time off and be gone for a while. And so that triple threat matchup actually makes sense and works out. What do you think, Harv? You just basically spoken a little bit, so I'm gonna let you reflect more.
I'm with you. I mean, I agree. I feel like that was the plan. Was Cody Rhodes was going to go for the title, the world title, no matter who had it. I feel like Karrion Cross is kind of a failed experiment, in my opinion. They didn't do enough with him in between time. With having Drew challenge and all the extra stuff they did in between there, they didn't do enough to really build him up as any sort of threat. So I feel like Cody Rhodes was always the plan. Bray Wyatt coming back, I feel like was more of a contingency because Cody Rhodes got hurt. But I feel like it's going to work for the benefit of the company. They needed him regardless of if Cody was there or not. So I think the triple threat is the best bet, especially if they choose to keep the titles together. Mm-hmm. And that is probably the best way to do it. Have one of them beat the other instead of having Roman lose and then he go away for a while. That's just setting up. That's how you build them blocks in the future to keep that stuff going, later on. Yeah. So I agree. I feel like that's probably best.
Yeah, I can definitely see that because with that, he loses in that sense of fashion without actually getting pinned or losing the title. Can take time off, can return, and could possibly make that Rock versus Roman Reigns match for the following WrestleMania. And that would be a good way for Roman Reigns to actually lose and finally get pinned by somebody, but by somebody of a greater magnitude and not somebody that's on the regular roster. Yeah. Exactly. And so when it comes to like another match after that, when Roman Reigns finally has a match, when he gets pinned or loses, it won't be like, oh my God, Roman Reigns lost to such and such, So makes a lot of sense to me, in my opinion. You got anything else to add to that, J-Bo?
To be honest with you, I'm sort of indifferent when it comes to Roman Reigns losing his belt, though. I've always been a fan of if you want to keep somebody strong, you can do a triple threat, fatal four-way, whatever else, and not have the champion get pinned. I don't know, maybe this is just me personally, but with Roman Reigns being as strong as he is for the last 2 years, and now again, I keep going back to the new regime because we've been seeing a lot of changes take place lately. But one thing I would like is for somebody to definitively pin Roman Reigns one-on-one and build that star as the next one. Right now, we're having this conversation about, who is capable of realistically beating Roman Reigns one-on-one. And then we talked about Bray Wyatt, we talked about The Rock coming back doing so, Cody Rhodes, but that's it. That's just 3 names. This is a perfect opportunity to build somebody to realistically pin Roman Reigns. Take a look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been like a dominant force for years, but Drew McIntyre came in and beat him. It helped him. Roman Reigns, it took a heel turn for people to actually start investing to him. But the point is, you can
more than that, actually. I'm being real with me. It's all honesty. But yeah, continue.
You can still be a dominant guy, lose clean, but still come back strong as hell. And I see that in Roman Reigns. I agree. He should take some time off, build up any potential match he has with The Rock, whatever. But the point is, I think somebody should definitively beat him, be the new champion, let them be strong, build on their character, and then continue on. I just think for Roman Reigns, for years, building up such a legacy that he has so far, I think it's a little too safe for him to lose the belt in a triple threat match or whatever.
Austin fucking Theory is going to be the next person to dethrone Roman. Because it clearly slipped my mind. I was thinking, because you were saying that about somebody pinning him, and I'm trying to think of a fair way to pin him, and I'm not seeing nobody right now, but from somebody from the Money in the Bank standpoint, get him weak and everything, and pin him with the cash in and contract, it's a great way, because Austin Theory just been in the back of my mind for a brief second.
He's been in the back of everybody's mind. I feel like Triple H and them really doing that on purpose. I was going to bring that up because before they really took over, he was, in the spotlight because of Vince. He was featured on everything since they've taken over. He's been getting his ass whooped pretty regularly. So they really putting them on the front. I mean, I feel like they're doing that on purpose, though. A lot of people feel like because he was Vince's guy, Vince not there no more, so they like shooting him down and shit. I don't think that's what they're doing. They're doing that on purpose because he in the back of everybody's mind. You don't think about him until something makes you think about him. So yeah, I really think that's a good point. He might cash in and actually take that move.
This is the perfect, because I literally start forgetting about him slowly, week by week. You'll get some remembrance about him because he'll be playing matches and stuff like that and getting these little feuds with Johnny Gargano, Kevin Owens, and all of them and lose. But I'm like, dang, he really hasn't been like on that that promo spotlight yet in the like backstage promos and things like that. It's just been short matches, losses, and like he's been off TV for a couple weeks now. This is the perfect opportunity just to buy time for people to forget about the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in.
Yeah, clean,
exactly. Because those are the only ways. It's either that, the triple threat way, or The Rock beat him next year. Those are the only 3 ways I can see that happening
right now.
Yeah. Dang, that made me think. I like Austin fucking Theory. Like, man, that is crazy. But we're gonna see what happens in this follow the rest of the year for the season till WrestleMania happens. Anything is possible. And let's say, like I said, we were speaking on all these new names in the business now. Like, we've been having a lot of returns with the WWE. Like I said, Johnny Gargano, Karrion Kross, Hit Row came back.
Candice LeRae, who came back.
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah.
Damage Control.
Vega.
Damage Control. Dexter
Loomis, Karrion Kross now.
Yeah. And like all this stuff is happening.
Bray
Wyatt. Yep. So yeah. WWE is bringing back more people.
Brock just returned again.
Exactly. Making all these returns and bringing all the old people back. And there's rumors saying that this is not the end of it yet.
Yeah.
So, in question, are all these returns a good thing, or is WWE starting to become oversaturated and slowly becoming into AEW's loaded full roster as well?
I gotta speak on this one, because on our show we try our best to keep that same energy at all times, and we spoke numerous times on how AEW keep bringing in more and more and more people. It seems like 1 or 2 new guy or girl to give a spotlight to monthly, and we spoke on it. Like, hey, look, you can't give them enough you can't give enough attention if you just bring them back, give them maybe 1 week of shine, and then throw them in AEW dark matches or whatever filler matches because you're putting spotlight on somebody else. As of right now, that's currently what they're doing in WWE with all these returns. We just spoke off the show about Legado del Fantasma. They came back, cool, great. They're on the main roster, and now it's like they came the next week. Cool. Let's focus on the fact that Bray Wyatt is here. Like, we couldn't even give them a chance to really shine individually. Then before that, they're still kind of building Dexter Loomis. Candice LeRae came back. She had a nice pop, but then the next week it was just more filler matches. I don't want it to get to the point where you get all these returns from NXTs or even new debuts where we can't focus on them the way that they deserve to be. Now, of course, this could just be temporarily. Once Triple H fills out his roster the way that he feels necessary, then they'll probably slow down. But for right now, it's very difficult for us to give the rest of the attention they deserve with a new woman, new tag team, new male wrestler coming in literally either every week or every other week.
The OC came back too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah. That was back on sudden. It was a great way how they came back, but it was sudden. No one expected it.
What
about you?
No, I agree. I feel like they're already there. They already oversaturated. Because people who return are already disappearing, like you just said. Once that happens, that's how you know that they're just bringing people back just to bring them back, rather than bringing them back and having a plan for them. Yeah. And that's when you run into problems for real. Like, it's going to be a lot of people that are just collecting a check without having anything to do. Just because they got hired back on, which is cool for them. But as far as people who were excited that they came back and wanted to see them showcased, they're not gonna get what they want. So they already there. That's what both of them are doing. It's like a line in the sand has been drawn, and they just picking sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what the end game is gonna be, but definitely they already full. Both rosters are full, and they just gonna keep tugging at them till they got everybody.
True.
Oh yeah, LA Knight also made his debut or whatever. I almost forgot about that as well. But that got shined over by the fact that Bray Wyatt is pretty much taking over SmackDown right now.
Yep.
And they might be doing all this because of the Royal Rumble. For real, they might be introducing all these people.
Like I said, there should be names,
consistent names that people know that are going to be in the Rumble, because there's no point in having people who are not on the roster in the Royal Rumble.
Except for Bad Bunny.
No, no, I will not give you that, dude. No,
Bad Bunny is the only exception for a person to be in the Royal Rumble that's not on the WWE roster. That's it. Everything, all the other 29 spots should be all currently active WWE superstars.
No disrespect to Bad Bunny because he's very entertaining for his size and for his celebrity stature, but he had his WrestleMania match. He had his Royal Rumble. I'm done seeing Hurricanrana's and Canadian Destroyers from him. The wrestlers that are clearly coming back take over the Royal Rumble and build somebody new. I don't want no more fillers at Mania.
But you like watching Rey Mysterio's son on TV though.
Unless if he came back and increased his moveset, then I wouldn't be mad at it. If he came back and showed that he can do more than those two things, that's cool. But yeah, other than that, if you're just gonna come back and do the same shit, you can stay where you at.
No.
All right, with Bad Bunny. Yeah. But with that, I'll say this about all these debuts and returns. It is definitely great for the tag team division. Yes. Because they need to be buffed up some more. We needed more tag teams, and we finally got that now. Now we have a plethora of tag teams where whenever they decide to split the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles, not make it undisputed, it works out so it's not shuffled between 2 or 3 tag teams only. It's not shuffled between Usos, New Day, and Street Profits. No, it's got extra. You got OC, you got Alpha Academy, you got what's the name? Imperium. You got Hit Row. It's like we got more options now, so it's great for everything. You know, the women's division is slowly getting there. We're just waiting for Charlotte, Naomi, and Sasha. That's it. That's really it. Raw's cool right now. SmackDown is limping with Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan. You know, I'm sorry, it is what it is. But yes, but we need the big 3 back. I miss Charlotte. I ain't gonna lie. Even though you hate her voice hard, she needs to be back. I miss Naomi. Shit. Y'all exactly. I don't know. It's no type of disrespect to Naomi. Wow. I like this. I miss Naomi on TV. I miss Sasha on TV, and I damn sure miss Charlotte on TV. It is what it is.
I miss Sasha on TV.
You say what?
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, I don't know what you said.
Yeah.
But with that, it's like now it is over though. Everything else is full now. It's now for like individual singles wrestlers, it's hard. And especially right now, they kind of faded away the 24/7 title too as well, because you don't see it no more. So that's going to the wayside. But with this as well, I feel like Triple H has a plan up his sleeve right now, and that is to finally reutilize the NXT brand. Because now he's putting wrestlers that were on his main roster back onto NXT TV now. And it looks like it's becoming more of a consistent thing, like with Natalya, Apollo Crews, and now Veer, he's back on there as well. I feel like he's going to push more talent that probably won't have as much main event feel, but still have that potential to put them on that card, because some of the roster on NXT is not up there, especially with the people that moved up, and for the potential of people that will be moved up in the future, like with Carmelo Hayes and Brian Breaker, Joe Gacy, and the guy from what's that school again?
Oh, you talking about Chase, Andre Chase?
Yeah, exactly. Like them, he's getting called up.
I love
Grayson Waller. Like once that group is called up, they're gonna start utilizing NXT, because after those people, NXT is gonna need some help. It is what it is, and especially for them to be on cable television and not just on a streaming service. Yeah, you need those faces.
Power.
Yeah. Off topic. This is another thing that caught my attention too as well. They're about to start that feud between Braun Strowman and Omos. And you retract back to how they let go of Braun Strowman because they picked Omos as the next big thing. I'm ready to see that feud in the way. I want to see that get back. I want to see what's going to happen.
We already know who's going to come out of that feud. We already know.
Braun Strowman.
No question. Yeah. Omos not one. He's not. If anything, I see him going back down to NXT in the next year or so. I can see that happening.
That's his best bet. Yeah, he's just not believable enough to me.
Nope.
Braun Strowman looked like he be tearing people apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Omos does not.
I feel like that match might be a little sloppy, but yeah, we're gonna.
It's gonna be ugly. I feel like it's gonna be real ugly. Yeah,
I'll be a bit more interested if he comes out in that ninja outfit that he did before. It won't make the match better, but I'll be more interested.
Ooh. And last topic up. We touched it. Yeah, Jake Paul. Yeah, let's talk about him real quick to end off the show real fast. Yeah, why you stressed out hard?
Good, man. I'm good.
What's wrong with Jake Paul?
Good. Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with Jake Paul?
What?
Speak. Go ahead. We talking about Jake Paul. Go ahead.
I don't understand the title match, man. I don't understand that.
We all don't, but it's here though.
I
come to the realization that Crown Jewel, whatever Crown Jewel is just is the money making show. No titles ever get changed on the show. Is for them out there, just a money getter, because they got all the big names, brands, advertising ambassadors.
I completely understand it.
And Jay Paul probably has like a contract or something where, okay, I need a title match. I'm like, well, let's put him on this one. Shit. I mean, it was either gonna be him or Goldberg, so it was like your choice.
Goldberg makes more sense though. I mean, I'm tired of Goldberg. I'm sick to my stomach of Goldberg, but he's actually has credentials. Jake Paul doesn't have any wrestling credentials. He's had 2 matches. I understand it's for the money. I get that, but he's had 2 matches. I'm not with it at all. Can't be. As a wrestling fan, there's no way I can support that match. That does not make sense at all. I understand it's for the money, and they're gonna make money. That's cool, but that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of.
True. I'll feel you on that.
As a wrestling fan, that's all I'm saying. And he's not terrible. I admitted that he wasn't terrible. He can go. I don't feel like it's gonna be a terrible match, but the match itself doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
The match itself would only make sense if Jake Paul stood aside from his outside celebrity ventures. He became a full-time wrestler, and he's putting in matches week after week after week like everyone else, because then not only is he putting in that regular work, he can take his celebrity status and help him out for these big matches. Fine, I will invest into that. But Harv already mentioned he had 2 matches. Only 2 matches so far. And he's already going against Roman Reigns for the belt. Again, this is clearly publicity. This is clearly money. This is clearly an opportunity to put a big match together. But without the work being involved, it's sort of, I know you mentioned like Goldberg has more of her credentials, but it's sort of like, you got these wrestlers who coming back who just randomly get title shots. It's that same feel that I get with me. The only difference with Jake Paul is that he's still, even after 2 matches, he's a celebrity. He's not a wrestler.
He's not a wrestler. Yeah. If they announced this shit like a month, 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
If he had wrestled between now and then, 2, 3, 4 matches, I wouldn't have this great.
Yeah. Build it up.
They announced it and he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, I would feel better if you were there actually doing the shit that you're gonna get paid all this money to do for the 3rd time. That's my biggest gripe about it. That's not respecting the product. And the product is money. You're making the money, so you're respecting the product, but you're not respecting wrestling, in my opinion. Is that at that point it's just a show. That's all it is. It's just a show.
It really is.
It is what it is.
I don't even think Hunter wants this match to happen, to be honest with you. I really don't.
It's a deal. Like they have to meet a certain status quo. They gotta, draw a certain amount of money and viewers and stuff for it. So it makes sense. That's why I'll never knock it for the money. Me personally, I understand that part. It's just trash.
It really is. Like at this point, because it's like I said, 2 matches already, and like he's getting a fight Roman Reigns. Like he just skipped in front of everybody just for the hell of it because his name is Jake Paul.
Well, the undisputed for both of them joints.
Right.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna win it. It's
he better not win. If Jake Paul wins the undisputed title, This will be the last episode of Know the Roast podcast ever. This will be the end. This will be the end of this podcast right here. I'm shutting shop down. Like, this is it. I don't care. Like, like, fuck this shit now. I'm like, thank y'all for the support. We tried to make the episode 60, but it is what it is now. I'm like, right. So if Jake Paul wins, see y'all, wrestling community.
We would have zero to talk about.
Right.
Man.
We should have an episode where if he does win, me, you, Harv, we just stare at the camera for a good 30 minutes. Just
like that. Like that's probably like that's like I can't think of nothing worse than that. I really can't think of anything worse than Jake Paul winning the Undisputed title.
Random question. Who would you rather win, Jake Paul or Rey Mysterio Jr.?
Damn. I don't know which one I hate more right now. Damn, shit.
That was good.
That was.
Pump this brakes there.
Damn. I just because off the fact that Rey Mysterio's son has actually wrestled matches.
Go ahead and say it.
But Jake Paul is a better wrestler.
He would not let it go.
Rey Mysterio's son could. Yeah, I'll pick him.
There you go. Good.
That shit made me sick.
I didn't think it could be done.
Dude, that was a hard ultimatum right there. He
I never thought I'd hear that. I never thought it would happen.
Cinko said, "I can't think of anything worse." I was willing to bet money on that with that question.
That was worse right there, but I don't know if it was that much lower. But shit.
Oh, man.
Because like even with Jake Paul, like when he be on TV now, it's not there no more. Like that cheering that they have for him at SummerSlam is gone now. It's back to like, why are you here again? Like get off TV, get off the stage, like get off the mic.
Because you're not there putting the work in.
Exactly.
They made a big deal about signing this contract like he was actually going to be a part of the roster.
Yeah.
To give him a title match. His very next match after signing that contract was the world title match. No, like what I'm cheering for.
Right.
What the hell? That's crazy. They respected his performance for what it was. I respected it for what it was. Mm-hmm. That don't mean you should get a world title shot.
Right.
No. Most people who are wrestling fans in 2022, they respect wrestling to a degree. Even if you are a diehard WWE fan that enjoys the entertainment aspect more than wrestling, you respect wrestling, professional wrestling. You respect that. That's what it is at its core. So that's just, I feel like everybody can feel that. Like that's just
right. Because I definitely respect the hell out of wrestling and wrestlers. Like even with the shit I do now on the side with just being a manager. Like ain't no way in hell I would try to insert or enforce my way of trying to be on a main card show or wrestle for whoever's title.
Mm-hmm.
I would even want the belt. I'm like, no, I'm like, don't do this to me. Me boo like that. No. But like saying that's just it's really wild that he just got put on this pedestal so instantly within the third match of
wild. That's wild.
Even before Bad Boy, it's crazy. But with that, that's all the time we have for today. For episode 59. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting. We appreciate all the love and effort with bringing in all the notoriety. Sharing is caring. And thank y'all for sharing y'all hearts and y'all attention for this episode. And we're about to sign out. But before we sign out, y'all gotta do this one simple favor for us, and that is to I ran out of water, but y'all can follow us on all social media platforms like KTR_podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. No Roast Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, No Roast Podcast, all podcast platforms, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcast, Poppy More, everything. And don't forget to get your merch at ProWrestlingTees.com/KTR Podcast.
Yeah.
This is episode 59. Hashtag KTR. No the Roast Podcast. Hopefully this is not our last episode.
Shoot.
But for now, we are out.
Big Harv. Similar to the main reason why Jake Paul is even going for the Universal title case. Tell them.
Oh man.
They do.
Potentially for the last time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna leave you with this. Pump those numbers.
That don't compute in my mind, I must be out of mind. Black fist high, rally up before we out of time.